I wasn't old enough to watch the first Toy Story on release. I wasn't even old enough to watch the second one on release. Yet somehow it's a movie that still resonates with me and with many people around the world. With the upcoming release of Toy Story 4, I'm going to have a look at the first 3 movies and give my opinion on each, giving a score for each movie as well as an overall score for the franchise. So, let's start at the beginning. For those of you unaware, Toy Story was the first full-length feature film to be made entirely by CG. It was also the first film produced by Pixar, now owned by Disney, and was created by John Lasseter. To say the movie was a success would be an understatement. It grossed over $373 million worldwide and went on to be called one of the greatest animated films ever made. So far, no Toy Story movie has dropped below a 7.9 in ratings on IMDb. So what is it about these movies that capture the attention of audiences around the world? In my opinion, it's to do with the breathtaking animation and the unique take on a classic story. The story is pretty basic. Woody, an old school cowboy doll, gets jealous when his owner Andy gets the latest Buzz Lightyear action figure. Woody then goes about trying to get rid of Buzz, but when they get trapped in Sid's house, the toy torturer next door, they create a lifelong bond. A pretty simple story, but the real joy in watching the film is seeing the progression of Woody and Buzz. Buzz goes from a naive toy, taking the marketing surrounding him far too literally, journeying through an existential crisis before realising that being a toy isn't too bad. Woody meanwhile slowly works through his control issues and learns that Andy doesn't stop loving him just because he got a new toy. This is why I think looking at the story from a toy's perspective is why this movie works so well. Obviously the young children these movies are aimed at spend a lot of time with their toys, making up scenarios and personalities for them. So when they watch a movie about toys learning to get along, it becomes a highly effective way to teach them about life skills. On the other hand, it's also good for adults and parents who may not have had such a nice childhood and have been left to deal with the same issues Woody and Buzz deal with, yet the movie never feels like it condescends to an older audience like so many other children movies do. Animation-wise, the first movie holds up amazingly well. There are obviously some frames and moments that don't look as good compared to today's technology, but that's only to be expected. For 99% of the film, you really don't notice the animation quality, and the quality is far superior to most animation at the time. The character designs are really unique and reflect the personalities. Overall, it's an extremely well-produced film. So in conclusion, this is one of those timeless films loved by millions around the world. The story has a unique spin on a classic archetype, the characters are fresh and distinctive, the humour is witty and sharp while still being accessible to children, and the adventure is always fun and exciting. I give this film a 9 out of 10.